Shalom, all honor, praise, and glory be to the Heavenly Father, YAHAWASHI, WAHAKADASHWAKA, the Wadi Yahawah for the Holy Spirit, double honors to the elder apostles, and much peace and many blessings to you brothers teaching this truth. All right, much peace and many blessings to the believers, the men, women, and children of the Israelite race, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom to the elect. So quick revelation, the Eve was made to think, the serpent made Eve think that she could be added to. Like that her doctrine pretty much sitting here, pretty much discussing, meditating, and upon, the thought, it hit me that, the spirit brought out, basically the serpent made Eve think she was missing something, when we had all good, like all Adam knew was good, and obviously he got opened up to what's bad, because he wasn't perfect. So, that was a setup ultimately as far as what went down in the garden on why being, so Adam could go on and not be the bad, because he doesn't have to be the bad. And the bad is obviously necessary because it created a balance when it came on the scene. But that doesn't have to be through Adam. The chosen man. That doesn't have to be through us. But Adam would just get a lesson to at least know about bad, which would be through him going through bad things and being able to deem it as being bad due to the results, aka the Travis Scott concert. You go to the Travis Scott concert, obviously. There's many people, the setup, being with a bunch of idiots, that's bad. Because look what it resulted in. You see? So listening to these people, listening to these devils, that's bad. Look what it resulted in. So now we've just been on a path of learning what's bad. But nonetheless, he was what? He was beguiled ultimately through his rib. His woman was beguiled. Put it like that, because that's what I'm meaning. But by what? Us only being opened up, because Adam represents the chosen, but us only being opened up to the good. All right, us having all of what's good, and she was made to believe by the serpent, the devil, who's up the bad, that she was missing the smallest increment of good that was being kept from her, right? That's what the serpent made her believe, which ultimately is what him getting her to believe that he can add unto her when the scriptures say completely otherwise. You see? And YAHAWASHI, so upon this, I just want to share this with you. This is what YAHAWASHI say. This is Luke 12 and 25. I'm going to actually start it, I could actually start it 22. And he said unto his disciples, you tell me what this is going back to. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life. Take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, neither for the body. You see, what ye shall eat. See that? Neither for the body. Going back into what? The fruit. Eating. Which was through her taking thought, right? Which was through Satan, the serpent, Esau, so-called white man, in the spirit, Cain, the devil, right? So-called white man today. All these entities being the so-called white man today, which is just actually simply so-called white man then, making her believe, consider through thought. You know what I'm saying? Take her own thought for her own life. In a sense, maybe I can make my life better. Maybe, I am missing something. He would get her to believe that, and she would eat that up. And it was symbolically compared to her actually eating of her fruit. You see that? Which constitutes what? This very thing YAHAWASHI will come forth and say. What? was simply her taking thought for her life, when the Lord already gave her life. If he gives you life, you see what I'm saying? It's life in it's life in its purity, right? And he said unto his disciples, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat. You see? Neither for the body. The Lord already told you what to eat. It's already set up. He already got how that works, etc. What ye shall eat, neither for the body what ye shall put on. The life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouses nor barn. And God, the Most High, YAHAWAH, the Heavenly Father, feedeth them. You see? How much more are ye better than the fowls? And which of you, listen to this, and which of you with taking thought, will actually step into the side, outside of right, which would be going off, just off of the fact you even entertaining doing this and considering. You see, right? Which of you taking thought can add to his stature 1 cubit? Nobody. He's saying this, YAHAWASHI saying this to Israelites. This goes back to the garden. This is ultimately what he's talking about. The scriptures tell us how the Most High will withhold no good thing from them that love him. You see? And you love him by keeping his commandments, which Adam was given. So ultimately you will have all good things. But he got her to believe she was missing something. And if she's missing, she's trying to gain it. If she doesn't have it, she wants to gain it. And a gain would be what? Denoting adding. But the script he just said, and which of you taking thought can add to his stature 1 cubit? Nobody. And he's saying this to the superior people of the earth, man. Of the universe. The Israelites. So if they can't do it, we can't do it, so-called Black Latinos and Native American Indians, how on earth will anybody else even be and mention? That's why the serpent is called the devil. That old serpent called the devil and Satan was deceived the whole world. See that? He was deceived because that wasn't true. You know, your life couldn't be added to. The devil can't add to your life. You can't add. The Lord gives you what's good. He is good. You can't add. There's no, and to further prove that that's not true, and that's what he actually got her to believe. If ye be then not able, verse 26, to do that thing. You see, if ye be then not able to do that thing, you're not able to. See, nobody is able to add to her. Be add. He couldn't add to her, man, but he got her to believe that she could. She could add to herself through getting her to try to add to herself. He made her believe that. If ye then be not able to do that thing which is least, why take ye thought for the rest? That's why I say lean not upon their own understanding. The heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it? You see that? He played herself, but she did it because she was really made to believe that she could be added to. You see that? Verse 22, and he said unto his disciples, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life. That's what she actually tried to do. Here it is. You got the power that gives life, and you actually trying to step to the side and see how to get life. You see? When he's giving you the way. He's like, nah, let me see how to. Because that's basically what she did. What ye shall eat. You see that? Neither for the body what ye shall put on. All right. This is Proverbs 30:5. Every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. You see? And what was the words of the Heavenly Father? That what? You don't eat of the fruit of the tree. You see? Look, add thou not unto his words. That's what she did. See that? Lest he reprove thee and thou be found a liar. And she ended up being found, ultimately the devil was found a liar. That's why I say in that old serpent, see that? Called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was found a liar. That's what this is talking about. See? So when you go to Genesis in the 3rd chapter, in the 1st verse, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Right? Field meaning world. Beast is people, men are compared to people. I mean beasts. Right? Which the Lord YAHAWAH God had made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, had the power said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Right. Because that was the word. She was giving the words of YAHAWAH. Right. But of the fruit of the tree, which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, ye shall not eat of. Meaning what? She had the commandments. But the only people giving it, the thing that has been is that which shall be, and there is no new thing under the sun. Right? So the only people that's giving the commandments now is the Israelites. But it say the thing that has been is that which shall be. Don't, and he says, and as for the other nations, they have not known them. They, it say God showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his commandments unto Israel. As for the other people, they have not known them, man. So that will have to constitute that we was actually these people then. The commandments will have always been given to the same people, the same class, same group, same fabric of people, from old. You see that? Even before it was known as Israelites. You see? But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, ye shall not eat of it. That's what Eve said. Neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. She had the knowledge and the understanding and the wisdom. She had the commandments. You see that? And the serpent said, and I want to prove that real quick. When you go back to Luke 30, it says, every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. And the word dealing with what? The commandments. It says, it says, add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee and thou be found a liar. Dealing with the commandments. All right. I want to make sure I got this right. All right. So going back to Genesis in the 3rd chapter. And the serpent, in the 4th verse, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die, for God know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open. See, he added to his words. He got her considering taking thought, which is what? Going into trying to add to what the most high stature, man. You see? The most high's way to get life. Which of any of us could do that? You see? He said he is life, man. He said he lived forever. See that? But anyway, it says, he says, for God knoweth that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be, and adding, see that? And ye shall be as gods. But he deceived her, knowing good and evil. So he got her he got her to believe that she was missing something or she had something to gain, which wasn't true. Because the last thing he said that we will be, we already was. Because it says, gods. I want to say that's Genesis, Slakia. That's Isaiah in the 43rd chapter. That's the cut to the devil, right? Watch this. Listen to this. Isaiah, Yakan, 41 and 23. Shew the things, you see, shew the things that are to come hereafter, that we may know that ye are gods. So God know what's going to come hereafter, in the future, where things are going to head, right? What things will lead to. Shew the things that are to come hereafter, that we may know that ye are gods. You see? Yet do good or do evil, that we may be dismayed and behold it together. Now watch this. So that's what denotes a God. And he's telling her, when you eat of this, you're going to become as a God. But it says, shew us and tell us what's going to come hereafter, that we may know ye are gods. Right? Genesis 3 and 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. She's a God already. She knew what was going to happen hereafter. You do this, this is what happens. And this nigga said, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. He deceived her. Because he went on to say what? For God know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods. So, knowing good and evil. Which is true, but you was already in the form of a God. Because how? When you read Genesis, just to cut that, Genesis 1 and 26, it says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. You was already as a God. What man and what man was that? That was the chosen man. The chosen man, the chosen woman, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over, above, going into the note in the Israelites, and over the cattle, which these people are compared to, and over all the earth. You see, as he said, we are above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That's what this is talking about. And over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. Is this all men? No. Because what's the image? In the image of God created he him. And he said, you're gonna be his gods. He was already created as a God. Male and female created he them. Meaning what? The chosen man, the chosen woman. Let's prove it. What am I looking for? Oh, Wisdom of Solomon. Because what's the image? This the cut for people when people say, what? We're made in God's image. No, the chosen people are made in God's image. Because what's the image? This is Wisdom of Solomon 22. For wisdom, which is the work of all things, taught me. For in her is an understanding spirit, holy, one only, manifold, subtile, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, going into Jake, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, you see, quick, which is of the elect, right? But anyway, which is of the Israelites. But this is all wisdom. This is the constitution of wisdom. Right? This is what those will look like that have wisdom. It said the elect will be of quick understanding. The elect is of the nation of Israel. Right? But once again, we're talking about wisdom. And we're going into the image. Now, which cannot be ready to do good. Now, we're going to jump to the point. It say, verse 26, it says, for she is the brightness of the everlasting light, wisdom, the unspotted mirror of the power of God, and the image of his goodness. So he said we're going to give man our wisdom. So all men, they get wisdom. You see that? To prove that, what is wisdom? In a nutshell, Sirach this heavy. Sirach 20, 19 and 20. Sirach 19 and 20. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom. And in all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of his omnipotency. So that was the woman that was created in his image, talking to the serpent who was a god already. That was the woman who was created as a god already because she was made in the image of God, the Most High. Meaning what? She was given wisdom. She was given the law. That's why she said, God said, don't do this. And we could confirm she's a god because she knew what would happen. Show us, if ye be God, show us what will happen hereafter. She said, well, if you eat this going to happen. You're going to die. You see? But he said, when you eat of this, you're going to be as God. He made her think she had something to gain. So she thought ultimately that, through the devil that he could add to her, which would be through her believing she could add to herself. Which would actually just be him getting her to believe she could add to herself. You know what I'm saying? Verse 19, the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. You see? And they that do the things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of his omnipotency. Or omnipotency. So it say the knowledge of the commandments. She had knowledge of the commandments, which is of the Lord. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord. She said, God said, don't do this. Which is what? It says the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. Going back into what YAHAWASHI said in Luke 12, and I'm going to close out. It says, Luke 12 and 22, and he said unto his disciples, therefore I say unto you, see, take no thought for your life. You see, for your life, what ye shall eat, neither for the body what ye shall put on, because we already got the way of life, how life gonna go. You keep the command. They say, what's the whole duty of man? To keep the commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. Solomon realized that. And through all that, you're going to get everything, man. You see that? The life is more than meat. You see, the life is more than meat. The life is more than meat. Your life is not, is not manifest, is not decided off you having meat, off your body eating. Because you can eat and die. You can actually eat and choke. Because if you don't know how to eat, you can die. So actually life is gotten or obtained or retained by what? Knowledge of the commandments of the Lord, which is the doctrine of life, which she had. You see? So don't try to go outside of that. You can't, as he going to say, the life is more than meat. The body is more than raiment. People think that's the only way they're going to stay alive, by eating and constantly clothing themselves, getting new this, new that. No. Consider the ravens, for they neither, so he dead at that, and he give an example now of something else. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse nor barn, and God feedeth them, because he has the way of life. So if you just with the Most High, his natural order of things is how you'll actually, is life. It's how you procure to yourself life. You see that? Just by being who you supposed to be. A raven just be how they supposed to be. And they what? They eat. They get, meaning they get life. You see? And God feedeth them. How much more are ye better than the fowls? And which of you taking thought, if you actually attempted to try to procure to yourself life outside of this doctrine, and which of you taking thought can add to, you see, his stature, what the Lord has already built, you know, the building you have to go into life. Which of you, can and saying this is the building of life. Which of us can take a thought on how to make this building more life? You see what I'm saying? But anyway, and which of you taking thought can add to his stature 1 cubit? If ye then be not able to do that which is least, why take ye thought for the rest? You see? Because you will be in the stead of Eve, who was made to believe what? That she had something to gain Or in other words, that she can add, that the devil can add to her, that she can add to herself, man. You see? And that's where she went off. This is 2 Corinthians 11:3. It says, but I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety. You see? He didn't get her to actually eat an actual fruit either, because when you jump to verse 2, it say, for I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, right? For I have espoused you to one husband. She talking to, a damn another man, damn serpent, who's compared to a serpent, which was a serpent to begin with. You see what I'm saying? That was a deceiver to begin with, because they ain't supposed to be. The scriptures say, sit not at all with another man's woman. You see? If she will learn anything, let her learn from her husband at home. This is what this path of pretty much the road to recovery, the road back to the garden, right? Which is when we were flourishing, because that's what a garden denotes. When everything was green, when everything was in abundance. This is what this road back to that place has taught us. That what? If she would learn anything, let her ask at her husband at home. That what? We just need to simply keep the commandments. That what? We're the gods. We have to just, in order to keep life, we have to stick with the doctrine of life. You see? And not believe any goddamn other thing. It says, for I am jealous over you with godly jealousy. You see? For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you a chaste virgin to Hamashiach. Meaning what? You ain't touched with other doctrines and thoughts, other considerations. It wasn't actually a fruit. Like it's not actually dealing with a virgin, It's in the spirit, you see? Because that helps procure one and keeps one chaste, you see? That helps a woman be presented as that once time with her husband, once she's with her appointed husband. You see? The spirit, meaning the word, having the word, the understanding, because she'll know she can't go to her husband off 5, 6, 7, 8 bodies. You know what I'm saying? Let alone 2. You see? But it's talking about spiritually. So the spirit is this is spiritual talk right here. This is how we present it as a chat, not only a version, but a chaste version. It's an adjective. But anyway, to Hamashiach. But now that's the point. But I fear lest by any means, because that's what he said that to go into this, as by any means, you see. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve. He said some shit that wasn't even true. He went to this to actually get her to actually say she can add to herself. The means this man went. You see, through his subtlety. So your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Hamashiach. That's heavy for if he that cometh preacheth another YAHAWASHI, whom we have not preached, or if ye receive another spirit, see, which ye have not, another word, which ye have not received, or another gospel, which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him. You see? And he's going to talk about, for I was not with behind the very chiefest apostles. But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge. See? She was rude in knowledge. She became rude in knowledge. That's rude to the Most High. You're going to actually take thought. But anyway, it says, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm going to go ahead and close this out in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. It says, and the serpent said, verse 4, unto the woman. I'm going to start at 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God the Most High, right? Or the power said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. She was a God. And the serpent said unto her, unto the woman, ye shall not surely die, for the Most High, or the God, knoweth that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open. Believing she got something to gain, right? The means, by any means. And ye shall be as gods. Some complete off shit. Here it is. She's not even, man, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, see, the ravens, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she thought she had more wisdom to gain. Besides the wisdom, it was another wisdom. That's why Paul said, if we speak not in the words, it's two wisdoms. If we speak not the wisdom of this world, which man preaches. That's why I said the serpent in the first verse was of the field, meaning what? The world. So he was coming with another wisdom, other instruction. You eat this gonna happen. But the Lord had already told her through this wisdom, you eat this gonna happen. Don't eat this because this gonna happen. But anyway, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. So there it is. And yeah, she did it because she believed she had something to add to herself. The serpent got her to believe that. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that out. You know what I'm saying? That ain't true. We can't add to what the Lord Most High has established to be the way of obtaining life and retaining life. So with that, all honor, praise, and glory be to YAHAWAH, Shalom.